All right, everybody, welcome to this edition of Tech Tuesday. Today is the day before Valentine's Day in the year of our Lord 2014. We went back 10 years. How about that, guys? We just got younger. 2024. What I want to talk about today is, and I've mentioned this quite a few times, especially during the 4-day workshop that we did a couple of weeks ago, Google and Yahoo, as of February 1st. They're given a little bit of a grace period because I actually got to see some of that grace period because I screwed one of my accounts up, but subsequently it has been fixed now. So all is well. You have to have what's known as proof that you own the email address you're sending from. So basically what Google and Yahoo is saying is if you're doing any kind of marketing email at all, meaning you're sending messages from an email marketing platform such as AcquisitionPRO or Constant Contact or ActiveCampaign or MailChimp or any of these other systems, you can no longer send email from a free email address. So if you're using davidmonroe45@gmail.com, which is an old email address of mine, I would not be able to use that email address to send emails for marketing purposes. Okay. They will not allow it. They will block it, bounce it. It won't even go to spam. They'll just bounce it. It won't work. The way they're doing that is inside of your mail server of the email address you own for your company. The one I'm going to use today is my AcquisitionPRO.io email address, which is david@acquisitionpro.io. Now, I don't really monitor that email address. It was just created so that I could create my own sub account inside my AcquisitionPRO system. I'm going to show you today how to set these records up. So let's assume, because I like to assume things, that you have an AcquisitionPRO account and you have set up your initial DNS settings from AcquisitionPRO so that you can mail from your email account in your email server or your web server to your contacts in your AcquisitionPRO account. That had to have been done when you did your onboarding or got things set up initially. Okay, if you remember the capital raising workshop on my YouTube channel, sessions 2, 3, and 4 will show you exactly how to go through that entire process. So we're going to assume that's been done, but now we have one more step that has to be done. So first thing you have to have, obviously, is an email account. We're assuming you have an email account. This is HostGator. So if you're using HostGator, this is what most cPanels today look like. If you're using something like Squarespace or what's that other free web development thing called? You guys help me that are on here. What's it called? Starts with a W, I think. What? Wix. Wix is the other one.
Wix.
If you're using something like that, or you've got a WordPress site through GoDaddy, then you've got to make these changes in your GoDaddy account, in that Wix account, or in that Squarespace account. Or if you're using something like Bluehost, you'll have a cPanel similar to this. So if I come down, I go to domains, I go to zone editor, and I have not done this yet for this account because, again, I don't really use this account. So let me go pull. That was the wrong thing. Stand by. Well, while that's doing, once you're in here, you want to manage that account so all of your domain settings show up. Wow, that's a lot of CNAME records. Something has hacked this account. That's all of them. I'm not worried about all that. All right, so notice here I have a DKIM. There's 3 things you need. You need an SPF, you need a DKIM, and you need a DMARC. Those are the 3 records that Google and Yahoo are requiring, which will verify that you are the owner of that email address. DKIM is one, SPF is the other. So those 2, if you've already set your account up to flash.funnels msgsender.com, which is Mailgun, then you don't have to worry about it. It's done already. Okay. No big deal. But we got to add one more record. All right. So when you set your account up, these get put in. So I want to add a record. It is going to be a text record, a TXT, and it's going to be underscore. Where's my underscore? Right there. DMARC with a C, not a K. And then I got to put a string right here. Okay. So I've got to now figure out what is that string. Well, I have created this for everybody, and I will put this in the email when I send this recording out. So my record is V equals DMARC 1, that is required, and then P equals. So it's either none, which is telling Google and Yahoo, don't do anything with this email if it fails, which means it'll just sit out in the ether. It won't get delivered, or reject it, or quarantine it. Okay. Those are the three. Yahoo does not like none, but all the experts have said, at least in the first few months, use none until Yahoo starts rejecting your emails, and then you'll have to put either reject or quarantine, which is fine, because if the email address doesn't work, then it doesn't work. It shouldn't fail if you're doing this properly. So it won't matter really what you put here, but the experts say start with none. Okay, and that's just the path. What is Yahoo and Google going to do with it when they receive it? And then the RUA is who's going to receive the record from Google or Yahoo, or from all the different servers, on whether your DKIM, your SPF, and your DMARC passed or not. So your email address goes in here. Now, I would recommend putting in some kind of email address that you can receive a lot of junk mail from, if you will, something you don't monitor all the time. So I'm going to put in an old email address I used many, many years ago that I don't use anymore, so that I don't receive those emails, because I receive them for David Monroe CCIM. And let me tell you, I get a lot of them because I send a lot of emails, and it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. Now, there is another piece you could put in here if it's a subdomain, and it's called an SP, and you could do the same thing, SP equals none, and it would go here before the RUA. If you're using HostGator and cPanel, you don't have to worry about it. They're going to add it automatically. If you're not using a subdomain, you don't need to worry about it. It's only for subdomains. But once you have this record in here, and it's got your email address or the email address you want to receive those reports from, hit save record. Okay, it should go green. It does. That means I'm good now. Now let me show you what this looks like. Okay, so this account is now set up. I've got my SPF, I've got my DKIM, and now I have my DMARC. Okay, so I have all three. I'm now legal. What this looks like is, I'm going to stop sharing for a second, and I'm going to come over to an email that I've sent an email to myself to today. Okay, and I'm going to share screen again. So most of you have seen this. You got this email today that I just uploaded, session 2 of the workshop, right? If I pull this down, you'll see it came from David Monroe CCIM. That was the reply to. My from is David Monroe CCIM. So this is what Google and Yahoo are looking at to make sure that these two match, and they must match. The domains anyway, just the davidmonroeccim.com is what must match. Okay. And they're verifying that. Well, how do you know if this passed or not? Well, there's 3 little dots, whether it's Google or Yahoo, they have these 3 little dots where you receive the email. You click on these 3 dots, and it's show original on Google, but it shows something else. It'll be something similar to that. I think it's show raw email on Yahoo. I can't remember, but show original. And now we can see my DKIM passed, but it doesn't show my SPF or my DMARC. So I got to scroll down into this mess. So all I got to do is look down. Here's authentication results. My DKIM passed, my SPF passed, and there's my DMARC. My DMARC passed. Okay. Here's that P equals, here's that SP equals, and then there's DIS equals. And I don't even know what DIS is. Okay. But this is what they're looking for. They're looking for the DKIM, the SPF, and the DMARC. For right now, they are allowing DMARCs to fail and they're still delivering. If your DKIM or your SPF fails, they will not deliver it. But if the DMARC fails, at least for the moment, I think they're giving a 30-day grace period. There's been some people that have said that's what they're doing. But I think past March 1st, if this doesn't start passing, your emails will not get delivered. Okay. So I just wanted to show this process so you guys can see how to do this and protect your accounts. All right. I will render this at the end of this session. Well, later today because I got a bunch of meetings today and I have to teach tonight. So it may not get done till tomorrow. But this recording will be up on the YouTube channel more than likely by tomorrow morning or maybe even Thursday morning because I've got something else I want to put up on YouTube tomorrow, finish putting up that underwriting workshop. So if you guys have any questions, you know my email address, david@davidmonroeccim.com. Feel free to email me. And if you need help doing this, as always, I'll be glad to help. All right. Don't hang up, guys. I'm just stopping the recording.